Comic book movies have evolved significantly over the last half century, from the early days of You'll Believe a Man Can Fly to today's wild You'll Believe a Horse Can Venom. If you found yourself cheering at the bizarre four-legged scene in Venom: The Last Dance, then Tom Hardy's third symbiotic romp is likely to satisfy. This latest installment explores Hardy's strange chemistry with himself in a road trip format that celebrates the quirky tone the franchise has become known for. However, The Last Dance stumbles by relying on an all-too-predictable plot, making this superhero buddy movie more tedious than it should be. What's consistently captivating is Hardy's performance, as he doubles down on the unique dynamic between Eddie Brock and his alien partner, Venom. The irony of symbiosis couldn't be clearer. Hardy's portrayal captures Eddie's frantic paranoia and constant state of near collapse as he tries to resist fully merging with Venom. The tension between Eddie's desire to maintain his own identity and his grudging acceptance of Venom's lethal protector mentality becomes the movie's strongest emotional anchor. While neither of the previous films had groundbreaking plots, they grounded themselves in Eddie's journalism, using different genres to explore his stories. The first Venom leaned into sci-fi horror with the Life Foundation's eerie experiments, while Let There Be Carnage took a crime procedural approach to highlight the serial killer Cletus Kasady. But with The Last Dance, Eddie and Venom are fugitives, and the absence of Eddie's investigative angle leaves his character feeling somewhat flat. A brief detour to Las Vegas hints at gonzo journalism, but The Last Dance never fully embraces the chaotic, surreal possibilities it teases. Venom, meanwhile, is still the goofy, brain-hungry symbiote we know, easily stealing scenes and remaining the film's most likable character. His chaotic antics, from devouring brains to dancing to ABBA, endear him to audiences and provide some of the best comic relief. The symbiote's personality adds charm to an otherwise lackluster story, especially as he carries Eddie through one chase scene after another, showcasing improved but predictable visual effects. The plot introduces an intriguing twist. Eddie and Venom have to evade an alien predator called the xenophage, which is drawn to their symbiotic state. Unfortunately, this symbiote AirTag device is quickly discovered, turning into a routine way to guide the xenophage without creating meaningful suspense. The fight-or-hide rhythm grows repetitive and ultimately pales compared to the unique relationship at the story's core. Villain-wise, The Last Dance feels hollow. Although it hints at Null, the original symbiote creator, he's more of a looming shadow than an active threat, reminiscent of how the Avengers teased Thanos. The true adversary is instead the xenophage, a monstrous insectoid creature with limited personality or depth, which repeatedly sprays its victims, remains in a grotesque display. General Strickland, Chiwetel Ejiofor, and scientist Dr. Payne, Juno Temple, add to the government's anti-symbiote efforts, but they lack depth, especially Dr. Payne, whose backstory promises depth but never delivers. As Eddie crosses paths with a quirky, UFO-hunting family on a journey to Area 51, the film detours even further. This family, led by a grizzled Rhys Ifans, briefly serves as Eddie's unexpected support system, but their dynamic feels forced and awkward, adding little value to the story. Their role as a token civilian family in the climax ends up feeling like filler in what should have been Eddie and Venom's final poignant stand. The verdict. Venom: The Last Dance wraps up much like it started, delivering a mostly dull superhero story with flashes of brilliance from Tom Hardy's intense, chaotic performance. The franchise's attempts to juggle epic comic book action with a grounded story of one man's complex relationship with an alien fall flat, with the distant threat of Null detracting from the unique bond at the story's heart. Despite the lackluster action and thin plot additions, Hardy's Venom remains a delight to watch. However, if The Last Dance is indeed the final chapter, it may be time to let Venom rest, and to hope for a future that better captures the spark of what made this strange symbiotic relationship so captivating in the first place.